Yesterday's game update saw the removal of the Kourend Favour system, and some improvements to the transportation within Kourend. While the transportation changes like improved minecarts and a new ferrying are great additions, but I can't help to feel that the removal of the Zeya favors instead of a rework was a big step backwards for when it comes to the RPG element of this MMORPG that we all like to play. Zeya already struggles with feeling alive because it's very big and has a lot of empty space, even inside the cities. And now with this update, there's even more nothingness environments that the player can't interact with. Like over here at the wounded soldier tents, everything is now just an examine option and that's it. And when you talk to the nurses here, they just say, get lost, I have work to do, and then just do nothing and stand there. Doesn't really feel like an immersive gameplay here. And no, I'm not saying revert the update, because I think a rework for the Favour was needed, because the Favour system was pretty bad. And it was very annoying and it felt way too dragged out. But what I do want to see are a handful of one-time completable tasks, or favors if you want, where you can help out some NPCs all around Kourend to introduce new players to the areas and give them some XP or GP in return. Considering the Architectural Alliance mini-quest got removed, I think turning these favors into a mini-quest that give a 2k XP lamp per house that requires level 20 in a skill after you completed all the favors for a house would be a great solution. Because another argument I've heard is that doing the old Zeya favors gave you some early levels for some skills, like farming for making fertilizers or magic and runecraft from the library. So let me paint a picture of how I would like to see this introduced. Alright, let's say you're setting foot on the continent of Zeya for the first time. You completed the quest Client of Kourend for Favour, but you are still a complete stranger around these streets of the 5 houses. Favour tells you that in every city there is a notice board where citizens can ask for help. Just like the Porcine of Interest quest, where you have like the notice board at the Draenor bank, and then you have to go to the NPC and do the quest. So you set out to one of those cities to find that notice board, and on the board you see 4 or 5 notes pinned, saying that a citizen or NPC is asking for a favor, giving a little description of what that favor entails and some level requirements if there are any. For example, in Piscarilius, a dock worker is looking for someone to fix a couple cranes, requiring level 5 crafting, lowered from level 30. So you head over there, and he gives you some planks, nails and tools, and then you repair 5 cranes that stay fixed permanently, and you get 200 crafting and construction XP per crane, and on top of that the worker lets you use one of the cranes to catch some fish for an additional 2k fishing XP. Another task could be to deliver an artifact to Captain Khaled, requiring a lower thieving level than the regular method, so low level players can still get some nice early thieving XP, and they are introduced to the skilling activity in a natural way. Captain Khaled asks you if you can steal an artifact from the drawers in the first house past the bridge. This is the northern house, this is probably the easiest one from artifacts, and he gives you a lockpick. And I think the NPCs actually giving you a required tool for a task will be very nice for new players as a more streamlined experience, instead of having to go back to the bank or to the GE to buy the items required. And upon return to Captain Khaled you get some thieving XP and some coins. And after completing all the favors on the board you get a 2k XP lamp from a citizen next to the board, thanking you for your favors, and then you can move on to a different house or just go do something else, but now you have a 2k XP lamp that you can put on any skill. And this is the same in every house. You complete optional tasks for some nice early XP, and some of the NPCs will also give you coins too for your hard work. This could be such a nice early game introduction that gets new players familiar with all the activities on Zeya. Gets them around to level 20 to 25 in a bunch of skills and some GP. I was thinking like the 20k GP range. Similar to how the Stronghold of Security gives you like 10k as a fresh account. So that actually feels like it's been part of the game since the beginning, and actually make it feel alive. I am aware this would take some dev time, but pretty much all the items and NPCs are already here. We just need a notice board, some NPC dialogue, and some code to make it all tie together. So I really hope one of the JMods sees this and thinks, okay, this is a fun little project I can do, or we can do, And I'm sure Mod Ash would be coming up with some great NPC dialogue for this. And all of this would be a standalone thing in the shape of a mini-quest. So all the changes from yesterday's update would still remain, like the whole old favor system is just gone. There's no system with percentages and shit like that. And just add this as an extra. Maybe we do move some things away from the easy diary that got like moved there yesterday. Like the ability to use the mess hall would fit better behind this if you completed the mess hall favor. Or the protected farming patch after you successfully grown some crops for the gardener there. So basically the idea is to have most of the things that used to be locked behind favor become a favor task. And then doing that favor will give the player a small chunk of XP, either during the activity or as a reward alongside some GP afterwards. This is pretty much only focusing on new players and or new accounts to introduce them to the new continent and the activities on there in a way that gives them direction while helping to progress the early game a little bit. And on top of that, it's also making Zeah feel more alive and immersive, which it could definitely use. In my opinion, it would be a huge missed opportunity if they just keep Zeah favors removed, move some of the unlocks and quests to diaries and just move on with Farlamore and leave Zeah behind once again. I thought that Jagex wanted to streamline the early game for new players. Well, this is a pretty easy way to do so without adding Fortnite to other places in the game. Zeah already is this standalone continent where the favor system like this would work really well. And people love to complete little tasks. We could even slap the pop-up from leaks on this when you complete one of the favors, if people wanted that. I just think that straight up removing content from the game is just a weird move. Like, has this ever happened before, that something just got launched from the game? I could name a couple other pieces of content that I would vote to be removed next, but let's not go there. I know I should have spoken up when it was originally proposed and pulled, because that is the only way these days to change things about updates before a poll, because once it hits the poll, it's gonna pass. But I was like, whatever, it doesn't really affect me and Zeah's dead anyway, and chose to look away. But now with this update here, it just really bothers me that the developers have chosen the easy route of removing content instead of addressing issues and fixing them. Of course, it could be that the team is working hard to reach the deadlines of all the new flashy content, and scrapping Zeah favors was just better for workload management, sure. But Old School RuneScape is still an MMORPG, and even though the RPG aspect has been dying over the years, across other games as well, I still think that world building is just as important as the shiny new raid dungeons in games, and I would be quite disappointed if OSRS would move away too much from its unique RPG element to just be another MMO. Alright, that was it for the video. Please let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section down below, and if you would have voted in favor, no pun intended, on a rework instead of a removal of the favor system, if the option was given by Jagex. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. I really hope that this gets seriously considered by the team, and if it doesn't, then well, at least I got it out of my system now. And make sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell to not miss future uploads. I got my last leaks video coming soon, and pretty soon after that the UAM speedrun will continue. So see you in the next one, and take care.